As we saw in the previous video, you can add analytic accounts to invoices. Odoo also allows you to already add analytic accounts for sales or purchase orders, which is especially useful when you manage customer contracts. To do so, you can tick Analytic Accounting for Sales, and if you already have the purchase application installed, you can also tick Analytic Accounting for Purchases. If you install the contract management app, all these things will be preset for you. Now let's explain how we can use multiple analytic plans. So this is an option you already can do in Odoo, but you can create several analytic plans and post to only one at a time. Now Odoo also allows you to create distribution models for so-called multiple analytic plans, and with this option, you can say, okay, I want to post entries to both my employees ledger and my department ledger, for instance. Now, how do we activate this option? We go to Settings, Accounting, and we tick Use Multiple Analytic Accounts on Sales. When I tick this option, you will notice that the previous one will automatically be ticked. We click Apply. And since we also want to do this for purchases, I will install the Purchase app as well. Distribution models allow you not only to specify that you want to post on several plans at a time, but also to use distribution keys, meaning that you can say, okay, I want to create a model in which I want to post 50% on a certain employee, 50% on another employee, and then 100% for a department, for instance. Now let's install the purchase module. It takes some time because when you install the multiple analytic app, several other apps such as Warehouse will be installed together with it. So now let's install the Purchase Management app to be able to post distribution models for purchase invoices as well. And then if the Purchase Management module is installed, we will activate the option to post analytic entries for purchase invoices and purchase orders as well. So let's go back to Settings, Accounting, and tick the option Use Multiple Analytic Accounts on Orders. Click Apply. And now the same will be done for purchase as for sales. To be able to work with several or with multiple analytic plans, we will need to create them, of course. For time being, we just created the department chart of accounts, and now we will add the analytic chart of accounts for employees. So let's go back to Accounting, Configuration, Analytic Accounting, Analytic Accounts. As you see, there are a lot more options than there were before. Here we see the department. Now let's create the employees. It will be a view type because it will be the second chart of analytic accounts. Let's create Nick and link him to the employee chart. We save and we duplicate this account and rename it to Luke so that we have 2 employees in our chart of accounts. So when we go back to the chart of analytic accounts, I will show you that you now have 2 analytic ledgers. So department, which was already there, and now we also have employees with Nick and Luke. Now let's register a purchase invoice. Instead of registering it, we will just start from a copy of an existing invoice. And you now see that you have the analytic distribution field on your invoice line. Let's create a new one for internal expenses. So we say create and edit. We call it int E, for instance, and we have to link it to a distribution plan. The plan is simply the way in which you tell Odoo the accounts that you are going to use. So here we want to see a distribution for employees and departments. We create it and edit it, and here we add our first analytic ledger, which is the employee one. With the minimum and maximum allowed, you can tell Odoo how much of the actual invoice amount should be posted to the analytic account. In this case, let's say we want a minimum of 100 and a maximum of 100, meaning that the total amount of your invoice line will have to be posted to this analytic chart. We create a new one to say that in our distribution we also want to use departments. We give it the following sequence, and we add it to the root account department. Here too, we will use 100% minimum and 100% maximum. We save and close, we save and we return to our analytic distribution. Now, we have told Odoo the accounts that we want to use, so it is automatically linked to the analytic journal for purchases because we started to create this analytic distribution from a purchase invoice. So let's say we always want, in this case, 50% to be attributed to Nick. We want 50% to be for Luke, and we want 100% for the sales department. We click save and save again, and as you see, the analytic distribution is now added to my purchase invoice. Let's validate the invoice and see what the entries look like. Now let's go to Journal Entries, and as you may have noticed, there is a new menu item, Analytic Journal Items, and this will show you the entries that have been made by Odoo, saying that 50% of 800, which is 400, had to be attributed to Nick, the other 50 to Luke, and 100% to the sales team. So this is how Odoo works with analytic distributions. You can also use these analytic distributions for sales and purchase orders, which is very easy because then your purchase or sales department can already attribute the correct analytic ledgers. We can also create analytic distributions directly from the Accounting configuration menu. Go to Analytic Accounting, Multi-Plans, and click Analytic Plan. Click Create to create a different combination. And let's say instead of seeing it by employee and then by department, we want to see it per department and then by employees. And we want to tell the system that for the departments, we want 100% to be posted. So we keep minimum 100 and maximum 100, while for the employees, we would like to allow a minimum of 0, meaning that you don't always have to post analytic entries to the employees plan in this case. So this is how we created the analytic plan. Now, suppose we want to create only this skeleton, so only this plan. Then we can use this plan in the purchase invoice. We open a purchase invoice. We click Edit. We link it to, since there is no analytic distribution for the new plan we created, we create a new one. We call it, for instance, mobile phone subscription of salesman. We create an edit and we link it to the department's employee. We call it phone. We can use it for purchases, but if we also want to use it for sales, we don't add an analytic journal, meaning that you can use it everywhere. So here we say, okay, we want to post 100% to the sales team and 10% to Nick. We could also add 15% for Luke. If we save, this is okay. So this is how we can create an analytic distribution from an existing analytic plan. But of course, from this analytic plan, if we click the More button, we go to Distribution Models, and here we can also create new distribution models from scratch. So these are the main ways in which you can generate analytic plans and multiple distributions. Now about reporting, you can use the chart of analytic accounts for a certain date and time period. So here you see that we have 800 on the sales team, and for the employees we have 400. Okay. You can also print several kinds of reports from the analytic entries. You go to Accounting, Generic Reporting, Analytic, and here you can print the analytic journals. Let's print the purchase journal and have a look at what it looks like. Another way to print account balances or account ledgers is to go to Accounting, Configuration, Analytic Accounting, select the accounts, click, for instance, the sales department, select Print, and print the analytic balance, cost ledger, inverted analytic balance, or cost ledger with only quantities. You can also print the crossover analytic